It's always a massive game when you play against a top team like it's Grinstead, and obviously like the playoff final is always going to be the one that we've been playing all season to get to make the playoffs and then you know, to be champions. So yeah, massive amount riding on it, and those are definitely the fun games to be playing in.
It was pretty cool. I think that was one of the first years the final series was held here at Reading. And really did a good job of kind of filling out the crowd.
Whenever you play EG and Surbiton and Beeston, there is always a little bit more on it, just because of the history between some of the teams, and you know, they're important clubs that we want to be competing against and ultimately beating as well.
When you approach a game and you kind of know both teams harbour as much strength as we did back then, you know it's going to be an interesting encounter, and so the margins become even tighter, mistakes cost you goals rather than just opportunities, and so that's why you saw, I think, the score was sort of 5-4 in the end, which kind of was a real measure of both sides, who had pretty great defences but even more kind of potent attacking threat.
It's amazing to play in games like that, and they're the games that you love to play, and to play it in front of home crowd, and to sort of swing the game, to swing back and forth as it did was incredible.
We'd been beaten 8-1 by EG 2 or 3 weeks before, so to come back in the way we did and win the game in overtime was really special, and something I'll never forget.
It's a bit of a haze really. I remember we went down quite heavily and then you have those thoughts of kind of, oh god, this isn't going to be our day, and actually we'd lost pretty heavily to East Grinstead a couple of times in that year and the previous year. I think I remember a couple of 8-1s, which added a bit of edge to the game.
I remember the, maybe it's because there's photos of it, just the final moments as Watsy scored that goal, and we just, everybody just sort of lost it for a moment really.
I remember it being a really open game, lots of chances, and thinking this could just go either way at any point, but I think certainly that last minute is the strongest memory for me.
I've also got a pretty vivid memory of being right next to Ashley Jackson as he put the ball into his own net, and we were obviously preparing for the Olympics at that time, and I felt pretty sorry for him at that moment. I just sort of gave him a pat on the back, which might have looked like I was taking the mickey out of him, but I sort of felt for him at that point.
Yeah, really nice to win it right on the death there. I think Andy Watts put the ball in the goal off a rebound, and yeah, and that was that really. So yeah, amazing day.
You know, to win it with the final play of the game, and Watsy scored the goal, I think. Although again, I don't remember, I just remember the dog pile afterwards.